new spray.
So the issue is clear. Sony Video 8, the system of the future, or VHS-C, the compromise of the past. Now, as we've seen, the new Sony Handycam with autofocus and zoom gives you a measurably better picture, far superior sound, twice the recording time, and on Sony video cassettes, your memories are safe. While on VHS-C, they could be fleeting. I rest my case.
The Sony Video 8 system. Judge for yourself.
James Garner, James Woods, and Piper Laurie.
You promised, Mama. You told her you would always take care of me.
Promise, a Hallmark Hall of Fame presentation tonight.
Paul McFadden with the longest field goal of the season, 50 yards. His longest had been 49 prior to this one.
Well, the great thing about the kick, he really bore down on it, kept his head still. Not down, but still. Followed through. Look at the great reaction. Look at Telchik now. Watch him. Pick him up. There he is. Picks him up. Brings him back. Puts him on his shoulder. Very, very happy for Paul McFadden.
Boy, it's either feast or famine, isn't it, when you're a kicker? High kick. He had a 52-yarder previous to this season, so it's not his career high. And coming out of there in great shape for the Cowboys is Robert Levesque, and he has it out to the 41. That'll be a 34-yard kickoff return. So now Pelluer, whose lead has been cut to 1, will come out for the Dallas Cowboys. Steve Pelluer came in relief at the 5th and 6th game of the season. Played brilliantly when Danny White was hurt. Then when White went out for the rest of the year, he was put into the starting role. And losing some of those tough games, losing Dorsett and Walker to injuries that had slowed him, started to lose that confidence. And as an end result, this entire team has struggled since then. And as Tom Landry put it, kind of had the heart taken out of us. Right now, their team with a 7-6 lead, 8:55 to go in this first half. Pelluer to Walker, and he may have trapped that one, did he? Nope. Let's see. Nope, incomplete. He did trap it. Well, we mentioned that the Cowboys have slim playoff hopes, and a lot of it hinges on what happens to San Francisco. As you can see, they are trailing New England. What has to happen is the Cowboys have to win today and next week. 2 losses have to occur by the 49ers and 1 by Minnesota. That's a lot of combinations, Hank, to get into the playoffs, but as they said, we're just playing right now to win today, and then we'll see what happens next week. Pulling for New England, obviously, to beat the 49ers. From the 40-yard line now, 2nd down 10. Dorsett, and he got a yard, and that's all. Good reaction that time by the green shirts. To the 41, we'll bring up 3rd down, and still 9 yards to go for Dallas.
It was the old counterplay that time, pulling the right guard Kerr and Posderick. And that's a tough play to run against the Eagles because they get such good penetration, especially from their front 3.
Well, that forward wall with Reggie White, Ken Clark, Greg Brown is excellent. And then the rookie Reggie Singletary has also contributed up front. They have on this football team a remarkable number of players 3 years or less, 31 of them, to show you how young this Philadelphia team is. On a 3rd and 9 from the shotgun, Pelluer. Backside, Brown coming in. Here's Waters, almost had the interception. Andre Waters, who has 6 for the year, almost had number 7. He's been the big surprise this year. He replaced Ray Ellis at that strong safety spot, and this week, Buddy Ryan said he's one of 4 players he thought should make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, and he's a great tackler. He plays, he's like a linebacker playing safety, but in conjunction with that same thought, look at that that time he's back there in good shape and really should have made the interception. It looked like he might have jumped a little bit too soon. It looked like the timing was off.
Saxon will come in and punt now for the Cowboys. Garrity is back now for Philadelphia. He had that 76-yard return 2 weeks ago against the Los Angeles Raiders. Big rush. Saxon hit it very poorly. And it hit Evan Cooper. Cooper hit from behind. They're going to bring the ball back out to the 30 where it hit him. And we have a man shaken up now for Philadelphia. It's the man we were just talking about, Andre Waters. He's down back at the 32. There he is. Reggie White getting him up. So not a good punt by Dallas. The Eagles have pretty good field position. They have the football trailing by 1.
It began as a new way of thinking about the relationship between the automobile and the road. It evolved into an automotive suspension system like none before. The Mercedes-Benz multi-link independent rear suspension system. 5 individual links per wheel precisely interacting to achieve handling stability as never before. Helping to make the 300 class the most technologically advanced automobiles in Mercedes-Benz history.
Has he gone? Good. Let's put up the Stanley garage door opener. I can do it myself. It's a Stanley.
Okay, we'll help.
Santa won't have to wrestle with that door. Oh, he's so hard to shop for, so I got him the best, Stanley.
Boy, that was easy. He's got it. He's got it.
Merry Christmas.
For me? Oh, it's a Stanley. Get a second transmitter free when you buy a premium or deluxe Stanley garage door opener.
Hi, give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
So if you want the less smelling light beer with the first name it takes,
The dining car.
don't just ask for a light beer.
Can I have a light?
Ask them to bring out their best.
No. Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
Firefly.
It's an early season collision between two of the nation's premier teams. The Fighting Illini of Illinois take on the North Carolina Tar Heels next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Andre Waters okay after going after that punt. It looked like he hurt his hand. He was holding it when he came off, but he's going to be able to continue. The punt setting it up at the 25-yard line. Eagles trailing by 1, 7-6. There he is. He's showing us where he's hurt, Hank.
Yeah, it looked like he might have tried to break the fall, and in the process, maybe jammed his hand a little bit. It seems to be okay.
So Cavanaugh will have his team at the 25-yard line with 7:51 left in the first half. Anthony Tony wedges it forward for a 5-yard gain to the 30. Lockhart, number 56, making the stop.
Watch Nick Hayden, the left guard. He gets a good push. This time on number 54, Randy White. But in spite of that, Randy White is able to fall off the block and make the tackle, but he still made some yardage on the play. Not bad surge on the part of Nick Hayden on the last play. That was the ball good.
Shows you, Hank, how you got to stick with people, don't you?
Yeah, you got to put the fly paper on the front of your shirt and make them stick.
Second down. 5. Cavanaugh going up top. Quick pumps Ron Fellows, and the ball is underthrown. Quick and Fellows ran into each other about at the 40-yard line. Ball underthrown. That's where they miss Cunningham, Hank, because Randall, he has that strong arm. Cavanaugh not known for the rifle-type arm. That time underthrown, and it'll bring it back. Third down, 5.
The big thing with a guy like Quick, if you don't have a strong arm, you have to have great anticipation and get rid of the ball quick enough so he can run underneath the ball. He waited too long to throw it that time. Of course, Randall Cunningham throws it, he throws it a mile. And I talked to him on the field before the game, and he said, my thumb is very sore. I cannot take a snap, and I doubt if I'll be able to play.
Only way they could use him, they're talking about, is moving to the shotgun, possibly.
Yeah, but he said it even hurt when he gripped the ball.
Third down, 5. Cavanaugh under pressure. Jackson almost made the catch. Like he was climbing a stepladder that time. Ron Fellows defending on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
See, that kind of a ball has to be thrown at the numbers. It was thrown way too high, and as a result, in most cases, if you throw it high and it tips, it winds up being an interception, but it has to be thrown at the numbers.
So Philadelphia will have to get rid of the football at the 7:03 mark. Well, Cavanaugh has not played all that much. Coming into this game, he'd attempted only 31 passes. Pressed into the starting role as John Telchik will go back. Here is Gordon Banks. He's taken over the punt return duties. They had Robert Levette earlier in the year. Not especially high. There's a penalty flag as Banks has it inside the 30. And he'll be dropped just about at that point at the 30-yard line. Let's check the penalty out after a 41-yard punt that time by Telchik. It's going to go, I believe, against Philadelphia. started to signal that way anyway. I think we have 2 penalty flags.
Well, they're talking about it. But, you know, one was on the Eagles. Now, you don't know what the other one was.
Right now, the line of scrimmage would be the 30-yard line if it stands. And we'll get it all explained right now.
An illegal motion on the offense, number 95, and on the kick return team, number 23, there was an offensive holding. It will be replayed, 4th down.
So forget that play. We'll just go back and do it over again.
It's amazing how many re-kicks you have during the course of the season and during the course of the game.
Well, Buddy Ryan, 52 years of age, signed a 5-year contract with the Eagles. Called it his 5-year plan to reach the Super Bowl. And Hank, I'll tell you something. They may be 4-9-1, but there's some good things happening to this Philadelphia team.
Well, I'm going to tell you something too, Gary. I think every year, every 2 years, once in a while, somebody comes into the National Football League and is a dominant factor in the trend of the game. I don't think any one person has had more of an influence on the trend in professional football defensively the last 2 years than Buddy Ryan.
He makes you prepare a little extra, doesn't he?
Well, it isn't that. Is everybody in the league is doing something, some phase of what he's doing defensively.
Here's Telchik kicking again. Banks just about where they were the last time. This time a 48-yard punt. They end up almost in the identical spot. Jody Schultz made the stop. 7-6 Dallas.
The stars are gonna twinkle and shine. How they'll shine this evening about 8:45. I know I won't be late. Oh, that 8:30. I'm gonna hurry there. I'll be waiting where.
They say time is what you make it. At Citizen, we prefer making it beautiful.
About 8:45.
Citizen.
Welcome to the new world, where all the rules have changed. A world of financial expertise to manage cash, build IRAs, finance mortgages, and a world of insurance protection for lives, health, and property. It's the world of the Travelers, one of America's strongest diversified insurance and financial experts. Have you looked under the Travelers umbrella lately?
Where did you learn about computers?
In the Army.
You were in the Army, too?
Qualify for the GI Bill and the Army College Fund, and you can earn over $25,000 for college.
What you do in the Army?
Airborne.
You used to jump out of airplanes?
Who has the easy to load, easy to shoot, easy to enjoy camcorder? Who? RCA. It's the new Pro Wonder camcorder. If you settle for less than RCA, that's exactly what you'll get.
Dallas with a lead of 7-6, even though they've had the football 10 minutes less than Philadelphia, showing you their quick strike power. Coach, Tom Landry's talking about getting the momentum back. Thus far, has any of that started to creep into this game, you think?
No, I don't think in this kind of a game you can really establish it in momentum because it's a big play game. You're going to look bad on some, it's going to be a taffy pull, you're going to look bad on some plays, and all of a sudden, bang, you're going to make a big play, and you have to understand that's the kind of a game this is going to be.
And it kind of gives you a funny rhythm, doesn't it?
There is no rhythm.
Time of possession, we're going to put it up graphically for you to show dramatically how many more minutes Philadelphia's had the football. On a first down carry, out to the 35-yard line comes the Cowboys. Mike Reichenbach along with Reggie White making the stop. There's what we were talking about. 16:33, but what doesn't show there is an 84-yard run by Herschel Walker.
And running at that Philadelphia defense is like throwing popcorn at a battleship. You know, I tell you, it doesn't do much good.
Popcorn at a battleship? From the 35-yard line now, second down, 6 yards to go. Dorsett looking for some place to go. Nice little ad-lib effort. Very close to the first down after the 40. Gary Cobb, number 50, made the stop. Cobb was originally with the Dallas Cowboys. He was a 9th-round draft pick in '79, went to the Lions, now playing very effectively for the Eagles. It's going to be a yard short of the first down.
Now, Dorsett was really trying to set up something to the backside. And he gets over here to the right side, and look at, he thinks he's, oh, we don't get that part of it, but he finally sees a seam and gets the most out of the play as he possibly can. And I think that's what the great backs do. They stretch the 2, 3-yard gains and the 5 and 6 and 7-yard gains. That's why he is such a great running back.
They talk about him being such a good student of the game. Third down, less than a yard to go. Cosby comes in motion. Here's Walker. Pretty tough to stop that guy in that kind of a situation. Walker bringing it out to the 44-yard line. First down for Dallas. Reggie Singletary making the stop for Philadelphia.
Watch the surge of the offensive line. Kerr coming off the ball. It's a counter play. They get a good surge at the line of scrimmage, and Walker is able to pop through there in good shape for the necessary yardage and the first down.
Line of scrimmage just across the 43. There's what's been happening, Coach, on first down. What a dramatic difference.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Pelluer to Dorsett. Flag on the play. He's to the 40, to the 30, and he'll go out of bounds to the 27, with the penalty flag at the 50-yard line.
Looks like a holding penalty, Gary. Anytime they drop it in that area, it's usually holding.
Boy, he's something to watch, though. When Dorsett gets into the open field, it just seems like everybody else is paralyzed. He just goes right by him, and it's going to come back. Tony Dorsett, who appears as though will not have his first 1,000-yard rushing year since, believe it or not, his junior year in high school.
Holding, number 68.
That's a 30-yard run wiped out by Tony Dorsett, as the holding call will bring it back to the 34. He's missed 3 games plagued by ankle and knee problems, and Hank, amazingly, he'd missed only 3 times in the first 9 years. That's great durability.
Well, you know, the amazing thing too about him is that he has a great deal of pride in what the Dallas Cowboys have been able to achieve all these years, and it really hurts him. He said, I saw a little interview with him on the television the other day. He said, really, we lose a game and I'm embarrassed to go out any place and leave the house. He said, I'm so ashamed that we didn't play well and we didn't win. Everybody expects us to win. We're not doing that, and I'm ashamed of it.
After the penalty now, 1st and 20. Pelluer trying to set up a screen over the middle, but Walker can't hang on. That was too tall. So he tried to go up, could not bring it down. I think that's an interesting point. You know, sometimes you have success for so long. As you know, they've had this long run of success, and you assume it's automatically going to happen every year, and then it doesn't. And boy, how it changes things.
Well, you know, the big thing is, I think, you know, realistically, you have to realize that around the league, the competition is pretty evenly distributed as far as talent is concerned. And as a result, you lose a couple of top people, especially great people like Dorsett and Walker and some of the other guys they've lost, and it makes a dramatic difference in the way you play. There's no question about it.
20 winning seasons in a row. Only the Bruins of Boston are even close to him right now. They have a string of 19 winning years in a row. Pelluer, as he throws that ball, had his arm hit. And it's going to be intercepted by Terry Hogue. Terry Hogue will be dropped at the 43-yard line. What happened when Pelluer released the ball? Reggie White made contact with him. The ball was underthrown, and it's a 19-yard return on the interception by Terry Hogue.
And the great thing about Hogue was he doesn't have great speed, but he has terrific presence. And the one thing he knew, he was going to get as much as he possibly could, and he wasn't going to fumble the football. He had great control of the ball. In fact, he's still hanging on to it.
He's going to take it home with him. Yeah. Hogue was a teammate of Herschel Walker's at Georgia. I asked Herschel about Terry Hogue, and he said he was a character builder. He made everybody around him a better football player. His coach said he was the finest defensive back he'd ever had at Georgia, and they've had some good ones. First down now to 44 for Philadelphia. Double pump by Cavanaugh. Quick is there, and it's intercepted. Beautiful timing by Michael Downs. That's his 6th interception. Quick is shaken up. He's down on one knee at the 15-yard line. He is limping. Boy, you talk about timing on a play.
Well, he was laying in the bushes. He was waiting for that thing. Once it got up in the air, look, he makes the pump, and then he throws it, hangs it up there way too long. And look at him come over for the ball. The ball's a little short. Michael Downs comes over from the weak safety position and sucks it up like he's got a big backer sweeper in his pocket. But the ball was hanging up there too long, Gary, and that was the reason it was intercepted, and Downs had a lot of time to come over and make the catch.
His 6th of the year, his 6th interception. He had 7 interceptions in 84 and 81, which were career highs. Downs, a former free agent out of Rice, 6th-year man. As we mentioned, quick. I don't know what he did. It looked like he landed on his leg in a peculiar fashion, and he is now being looked over and assisted to the near side. Boy, that was either feast or famine, wasn't it? That ball had been just a little further, quick would have gone the other way.
Well, it was man-for-man coverage, but the free safety was free. They had help in the middle, and the ball hung up there so long that he had a chance to recover. And I think once the ball is thrown, a good defensive back, if he has anticipation, is going to be able to cover 20 yards when that ball is thrown, and that's exactly what he did.
So Downs follows an interception by Terry Hogue. Dallas has only 15 yards passing in this game, 143 rushing. Now we're going to try to add to that rushing advantage as Dorsett looks like he may have lost a yard on that play to the 20-yard line. Bring up a 2nd down. There's Quick. They're looking him over. As we mentioned, Quick had the flu this week. Not feeling well at all. What a tremendous year he has been having. There's an up-to-date statistical survey on him. When you have Quick and Jackson, just put that ball up and let them run under it.
Yeah, they're both airplanes. They can both fly, and as a result, you better be in good position to make the play.
Look at this, 49ers now jumped on top of New England. Obviously, the Cowboys following that with a great deal of interest. They need the 49ers to lose that one. And here's Pelluer, somehow got out of that jam. Seth Joyner's after him, and they're going to ground him at the 27-yard line. Pelluer avoided a long loss on the play. Hank actually converted it into some yardage. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
Andre Waters came in there late and really gave him a shot. Watch him now come back into the pocket. Fake inside, and Joyner really took a whiff of the fake inside, but he couldn't get rid of the ball because of the pressure inside by Clark, number 71. He goes to the outside, and there's Joyner again coming in from the inside and making the tackle.
Seth Joyner's a big surprise. Rookie, 8th-round draft pick out of Texas, El Paso, and the best way Buddy Ryan put it is, he's a player. 3rd down, 5 now for Dallas. Dorsett and Walker out of the eye. Play action by Pelluer. Wide open, Herschel Walker. And Walker across the 35 to the 36. Is he tough coming out of the backfield? That's a 10-yard completion. He's almost unstoppable.
Well, that's what you like. You like to get a big back out in the open field, and with a little defensive back play action, he's in the flat. Now a little defensive back has to try to make the tackle. See, and here he goes downfield and leaps over the top of Roynell Young. But again, one-on-one, he is murder in the open field.
We've come to the 2-minute warning here at Texas Stadium. Tom Landry's team trying to break a 3-game losing streak. They lead it by 1.
A century ago, the founders of Mercedes-Benz created what others had only dreamed of, the world's first automobiles. Over the years, their mastery of technology and intolerance for mediocrity inspired a dynasty of automotive legends. Engineering, craftsmanship, the stubborn refusal to cut corners. By every measure, the standards of Mercedes-Benz became the aspirations of automobile manufacturers the world over. Today, as Mercedes-Benz enters its 2nd century, the technology has changed, but the passion for perfection remains. Creating Mercedes-Benz for 1987, legends for the 2nd century.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. The people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours the very best of everything this holiday season.
The site is Texas Stadium, Irving, Texas, the home of the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys hanging on to their slim playoff hopes. with a 7-6 lead as we've come to the 2-minute warning of this first half. I'm Gary Bender along with Hank Stram. It's been 2 field goals by Paul McFadden, the scoring for the Eagles, and an 84-yard touchdown run by Herschel Walker that has given the Cowboys this advantage as we go to the last 2 minutes of this first half. They have a first down now at the 36-yard line. Dallas needing to win here and next week and then get some help to try to remain in the playoffs or be eliminated for the second time in 3 years. Renfro goes in motion. Pelluer back. Protection is there.
Oh, it
Going
should be
deep.
an interception. Oh.
And 2 men fighting over the ball. Fouls number 29, Waters number 20. They arrived there at the same time, and as an end result, they kind of bumped each other off the football.
Well, they had a double coverage with a safety free, and they got a good jump on the ball. Look at Fouls. He has a good angle. Waters coming in from the safety position to help out in the middle. They both had a shot at the ball, but collided a little bit, and the ball went right through there for 2 points to the basket. Here you see it again. Look at, they got great position on the ball, and because they're so close together, why either one of them make the catch. It looks like they were a little concerned about a collision, and either one of them were able really to make that play.
I tell you what, though, they had Sherrard covered all the way, and he's got that blazing speed. Quick, by the way, suffered a bruised right knee. He may return, we're not sure. Pelluer now 3 of 10 for 33 yards and interception, and they're going to stop this one. Crowd here not very happy about the offensive effort. It's going to be another delay of game call. That's the second now against Dallas. Boy, inexperience at a quarterback spot can really hurt you. And right now, Pelluer having difficult time.
Play the game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Down will be replayed.
Yeah, the only problem is that the guy that gets all the blame for that kind of a play is a quarterback, and yet he's waiting for the plays to come in from the sideline, Gary, and as a result, if they don't get him in there quickly enough, why, there's going to be a problem. They're not going to run out of time. That's what happened on the play.
Passing-wise, only 25 yards thus far for Dallas. Yeah, it comes from Paul Hackett down to Tom Landry, and then the play signaled in, wig-wagged in, whatever you want to call it, to Steve Pelluer. Anyway, now it's second down, 15. Trying to set up the screen, and he's got it to Herschel Walker. The screen up the middle gets Walker almost to the first down marker. He's a couple of yards short to the 44-yard line. They tried to set that up earlier, and they threw it too high. This time they got the connection, and it's a third down 2 now for Dallas.
I mentioned this before, but Buddy said we have to tackle well against these 2 great backs. And they haven't done a good job of trying to tackle Walker especially, and of course he makes you miss.
Well, that's right. He's made a lot of people miss, and even when you hit him sometimes you wish you'd missed him, right?
You're right.
Third and 2 now for Dallas. Minute 11 left in the first down. Pelluer's got time. Dumps it up, and that time Walker took his eyes off the ball. He was looking at the man coming up on him, Waters, and he dropped it.
You know, I'm surprised that Dallas hasn't been able to take better use of Cosby, because Cobb is playing him man for man. You got a linebacker on him, and Cobb that time played him very, very well. Didn't throw the ball to him, but maybe that's why they're not throwing the ball to him, because Cobb has really been all over him anytime he's released downfield.
Well, they wanted to resurrect him today. He has only 27 catches after catching 64 a year ago, and they said that he's really been a victim of really throwing to the back so much this year. They have not looked to number 84 that much. 3 straight years in the Pro Bowl, and his numbers are down. This guy's numbers are down, too. That's not a very good punting average. For the year, he's been averaging 40.9. Big rush. Reggie White was there. The ball is going to kick and go out of bounds at the 20-yard line. It'll give us an opportunity to remind you that coming up at halftime on the NFL today, Brent Irv and Dick Vermeil, the scores and highlights. Dick Vermeil will take a look at the new shuffle in Chicago, the quarterback shuffle. Working with Dick earlier this year, Hank, in a college football game, he said that the year they made it to the Super Bowl, the one game they pointed for in the preseason was Dallas. They were having a tough time beating them, did that year, and then eventually got into the Super Bowl opposite the Raiders.
Well, you know, at that time, period of time, I think it was very obvious that anybody was going to make anything go with their respective teams. You had to go through Dallas to make it happen.
The road to the Super Bowl came through here. By the way, Mike Quick is back into the football game, bruised knee and all. Cavanaugh back. Completed to Todd Latasi. Talatasi will pick up maybe 2 yards on the play out to the 25. We're going to have to hurry now with 44 seconds left in the first half.
They're doubling the outside people, and something inside would maybe be appropriate if they can get the ball in there.
Second down, make it 7. Here's Talatasi trying to get wide. The rookie from Washington State to the 30, 2 yards short of the first down. It'll bring up a third down, and timeout is going to be called now by Philadelphia.
People wonder why they run that kind of a play. Very simply, they got 7 defensive backs and only 4 linebackers, 4 linemen. As a result, they're making the defensive back make an open field tackle with big linemen out in front, and as a result, it's a good call.
Sometimes it's hard to find the words and say just what you're feeling, but deep inside you really want to show you love her, and so for all that she has given you, you can say it with a diamond in her heart. She loved a diamond.
Give her what her heart wants most, a diamond.
Tom Landry, who's had 20 consecutive winning seasons. Their last losing year was in 1964. They won 12 division titles, 5 NFC titles, and a record 5 Super Bowls, winning 2 of them. His team struggling, but the general consensus is, Hank, that he's excited about this football team. With some adjustments by next season, they'll be right back in it.
Well, he indicated that when we talked to him yesterday. You know, he was very excited about the fact he's disappointed. Somehow, some way, they have to get out of the slump. But he feels good about what the potential of this team is, and I don't think there's any chance in the world. A lot of people speculate that maybe he won't be back next year. No way. He'll be back. No question.
Couldn't agree more. Third down, a yard to go now from the 30. 30 seconds left. Philadelphia has 2 timeouts remaining. And they'll wedge that one out. Looks like they've got enough for the first down. Tony hitting off the left-hand side. It is a first down to the 34. You see the time remaining in the first half. 7-6. Dallas with the lead on the 84-yard touchdown run of Herschel Walker.
That time the Cowboys were running off the field, and they waited for him to get off the field instead of calling a play.
Here's Talatasi trying to get out of bounds. Can't. Dropped at the 41-yard line, and Philadelphia will use another timeout. That'll stop it with 2 seconds left to go, and 1 timeout remaining for the Eagles.
Ordinarily, in a situation like this, they might try to use the old bin play, the big bin play, with 3 wide receivers on one side and throw the ball downfield. But I don't know whether they'll do that with Cavanaugh, with the way he's thrown long here this afternoon. They might not try that. Let's see what they decide to do.
Cavanaugh has not shown the strong arm. There was some speculation that he was having some arm trouble, but in talking to the coaches and everyone else says that's not true at all.
Well, I talked to him on the field before the game. He said his arm felt great. He was ready to play, and he was very excited about the opportunity. And I think, really, the longer the game goes, I think the better he's going to play.
There was a moment there where he really had some confidence, Hank. They were putting it together, and then they kind of went backwards with some penalties. But his team down by 1 point, and Philadelphia with that quick strike power of Quick and Jackson on the outside, they can hurt you in a hurry.
Well, I think what happens to you if you get rushed and sacked a couple of times, you try to get rid of the ball quickly, and as a result, you lose your rhythm and you never get it in pace, see, in sync.
2 seconds.
They have the 3 wide receivers on the right side.
The old Big Ben. Well, they're sending everybody down anyway.
The old alley-oop shot.
Yep, Ron Johnson closest to the ball, and it's going to be incomplete, and we've come to the end of this first half. Very unusual first half. An interesting rhythm. But right now, as we come to the end of the first half, the score, Dallas 7, Philadelphia 6.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world. Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Citizen, no other watch expresses time more beautifully. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda, who invite you to experience the Accord 4-door sedans at your local Honda dealer. And by De Beers, a diamond is forever.
Second half ready to go here at Texas Stadium. The Cowboys with a 7-6 lead. Herschel Walker, the big man in that first half with the 84-yard touchdown run. Hank, we were just visiting and thinking about the second half. Any chance Cunningham would play?
No, I don't think so. I talked to him on the field before the game, and the great competitor that he is, it was very obvious talking to him that he didn't. He'd love to play, but I don't think he physically thinks he can play. The thumb is very sore and tender. There's no way he can take a snap, and he doesn't like to be back in a shotgun anyhow. So I really don't think he's going to play. I think it'd be foolish to let him play with his thumb the way it is.
Very similar injury that Tommy Kramer of the Vikings sustained, and he had to be out for 2 weeks.
Right.
Coming back last week in a game we had in Green Bay. So McFadden, who kicked 2 field goals in the first half, starts the second half of play. Levette will bring it out for the Cowboys. Had a big hole up the middle, and he makes it out to the 31-yard line.
It's a good thing that somebody slowed him down a little bit, because there was a big alley there, and he was just getting ready to get into it. It'd have been a long play.
So Steve Pelluer, who in that first half suffered the interception by Terry Hogue, a couple of times underthrowing some guys, is 4 of 12 for 46 yards at the halfway point.
You know, I'm surprised, and I look for more play-action passes, especially on 1st and 10 from the Cowboys. They were successful a couple of times in the first half, and then they got away from it. Let's see if they go back to it in the second half.
Tony Hill split to the near side. Sherrard to the top of the screen as Pelluer on first down to throw. A little bit of difficulty scrambling out of there, being chased. Gets rid of it to Herschel Walker, and for all that, they gained about a yard. Andre Waters over. Waters is just all over the football.
Yeah, he really is a great player. And you know what happened on the play, I think Pelluer anticipated getting man-for-man coverage, and a lot of times on 1st and 10, the Eagles play zone. That time they were in a zone. They had everybody faded. There was no place to throw the football.
Waters, one of the new faces, and Buddy Ryan said when he came into camp in great shape, and the way he was hitting people, I knew he was a player, and he's certainly added to that credibility as the year was worn on. Second down now, 9 yards to go for Dallas.
Now they're in a 46.
Dorsett. Tony, oh, what a nifty move. Looked like absolutely no place to go, and he gets yardage. Doug Cosby through the lead block, and Dorsett brings it out a yard short, maybe 2 yards short to the 39.
A draw play. The linemen set up, and then they assume their responsibility. Pozderic does a good job of blocking Reggie White. They run inside, and Cobb is blocked to the outside, number 50, and as a result, why there was a big running alley there for him to take advantage of it, and he did. And now it's about 3rd and 2.
That's what it is. You know, you talk about good feet. Dorsett, the way he can pivot, cut, and move through an area that doesn't seem large enough to get there. There's a little shovel pass forward to Walker. First down, out to the 50-yard line, and then some. He's to the eagle into the field. Terry Hogue, his former teammate at Georgia, eventually over to make the stop.
That play was successful because the defensive end came right up the field, and that's the way you like to run the play. Look at the big cavity. Brown is way up the field. They don't have to block him. They run right inside of him. Look at the running alley, and he's finally knocked down by Terry Hogue, number 34. And Tuine made a nice block out in front on the play, number 71.
That goes as a 14-yard pass completion. Sets it up now just short of the 48-yard line of Philadelphia. That's an effective play to use with Walker.
Oh, it was a perfect call because the end really came up the field just like you want him to on the play.
Newsom replaces Walker in the backfield. He's there with Dorsett. This is Dorsett with the ball, and all of a sudden Seth Joyner's there. Here's another guy, Joyner. Who'd ever heard of him? He played at Texas El Paso. They've had such long seasons, going winless in a couple of occasions, and he's able to make the stop. They say he's just an excellent athlete. Potential that is going to just get better and better, and he has started now the last 5 games in place of their number 2 draft pick, Alonzo Johnson.
Well, he's one of the guys that makes it so tough to do any business on, because what happens is that Landry said, you know, talking about scoring against Philadelphia, it's difficult to score a lot of points against Philadelphia.
Dallas with that lead at half, and they've got it right now, 7-6, and that ball broken up beautifully. Fouls at the last instant on a pass intended for Sherrard, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 12.
That time they're in a zone again that time, anticipating man-for-man coverage. And watch Fowles. He's got great position on him, watching him all the way. Comes back for the ball. The ball is thrown on the inside. He gets great anticipation, knocks it down, and almost came up with the interception. You know, Fowles, is their 5th defensive back normally, and he's starting now, obviously. But he's a lot better football player than people think he is, and people challenge him because they think Roynell Young is so good on the other side. Not that he's a bad player, it's just that Roynell is got such a great reputation.
He had an interception last week in that game against St. Louis. Batted that one down. 3rd down, 12. Pelluer, and again it's fouled, and he almost got it again. Tony Hill, the intended receiver that time.
You know, the thing I like about fouls, I watched him practice. Nobody works any harder consistently in practice when we watch him practice than fouls. He's all over the place, 100% all the time. And here again, great anticipation. He really had a chance to, and maybe should have made the interception, except I think Hill got a piece of the ball and knocked it out of there. But he's done a great job, I think, on the right corner, especially so far in this game.
You know, Hank, what's interesting, Buddy Wright got on his case. He said he was playing 30 yards off the line of scrimmage last week, but he's not today. He's played him tight on those 2 particular occasions. Saxon punts it very poorly. That ball is going to hit in the vicinity of the 23-yard line. So Saxon's been struggling today. That's a 27-yard punt. The Eagles are going to come away with good field position as they trail by 1.
Late one night, when all the families in all the houses all across the land were fast asleep, all of their old family cars were taken away. In their places were left shiny new Honda Accords. And they all drove happily ever after.
This is the time of year when we gather from far and near, and we welcome the season in, and let all the love begin. And the jokes you tell, and the songs you sing, and the sight of your smile still means everything. And I finally get to say,
Hi, Mama.
I think of you every day. Happy holidays, Coors to you.
From the people at Coors. It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
You're home. You won't believe how much I save by shopping at Radio Shack's Christmas electronics sale. I got those beautiful stereo speakers for Kathy, half price. Your mother will love this convenient cordless phone. Billy can fight alien ships with this Astro Command electronic game. And for us, I even save 40% on this dual-powered calculator. Now we can balance the checkbook.
The Christmas electronics sale, only at Radio Shack.
The Dallas Cowboys are still in the hunt for a playoff spot. They lead at 7-6 here. They need to have San Francisco lose, and right now New England has the lead in the 3rd quarter. They're 17-16.
You know, a funny thing about San Francisco going out east to play in bad weather, they talk about how tough it is to throw the ball. You know, there's not a better bad weather quarterback in the league than Joe Montana. And I think the fact that he played so well right here in Dallas in the Cotton Bowl in '77 in that very cold day was a great illustration of how well he throws.
Eventually won the national championship that time for Dan Devine, pulling that one out. By the way, Quick is not in the ball game right now. He sustained that bruised knee in the first half, so he's not starting the second half. They make it to the 25-yard line. As we said at the start of our broadcast today, the Giants, Chicago, and Washington are in. The Rams could move into the division championship if they win today, which leaves San Francisco, Minnesota, Dallas, and Atlanta vying for that wild card position. San Francisco has to lose twice, and Dallas win twice. Minnesota lose once for the Cowboys to make it. You follow all of that? You got that down, Coach?
You need a computer and a slide rule to figure that out.
This time, very little operating room as Keith Byers trying to go off the right-hand side. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. 3rd and 5 now for Philadelphia. Giants. Boy, they're moving, aren't they?
They are hot.
And Green Bay leading Tampa Bay. Cleveland hangs on there. They'll win the AFC Central. So the Colts, their one-game winning streak may come to a grinding halt.
I wonder when they came down from cloud 9 after that win last week. Probably today.
That's right. They kicked the ball off. 3rd down and 5 now. I understand Quick will not return to the ball game. You see Garrity now in motion. Cavanaugh, there's Randy White. 5 sacks by by the Dallas Cowboys, and Randy White storming through for another one. What a strong game 54 is playing.
Randy White, the left side of your screen, playing over the offensive guard and tackle. Look at him, gets right through Hayden again, and gets the penetration and makes the sack on the quarterback.
I know the Eagles don't want to be reminded of this, Hank, but that is the 99th sack. The record prior to this year was 70. The Eagles just add to that dubious distinction of having their record each week. Here's Telchik now to punt from inside the 5-yard line.
They got a 6-man rush.
Well, they're not really coming after him.
No, they're not.
There's a very fine punt, very high, got excellent hang time on it, and Banks pays for it. What a hit is put on by David Little, number 89. That's a 45-yard punt, and Banks was a sitting duck on that one.
Another flag in the play, though, Gary.
That doesn't surprise you, does it?
No, it doesn't. You know, every time they make a kick, you invert. Obviously, always go right back to the kicking area to see if there's a yellow flag, and in this particular case, there is again.
It's a reflex action.
It really is.
Boy, Banks really paid for that one because David Little, number 89, was there almost as soon as the football arrived.
You know, it's amazing how few deep receivers signal for the fair catch and take advantage of that opportunity they have to make a catch easy when somebody's right in front, but they don't do it.
Might extend your career a little bit, huh?
Well, you know what happens? I think they're afraid sometimes to raise the hand and then bring it back down in time to make the catch. I think that's one of the problems.
Number 23, the defense. First down.
Ooh, that is a major break for Philadelphia. That is Johnny Holloway, the defensive back, with a personal foul, which will give the Eagles a first down. I don't know where that happened, Hank.
No, I didn't see it. I wish I could tell you, but I didn't see it.
There he is. He's going to get another penalty if he didn't get that shirt tail in. Tom doesn't like that.
The league doesn't like it.
That's right.
That's right. You better get some scissors or tuck it in. One of the two.
Johnny, who played at Kansas, passed up his senior year to be drafted. He's a Houston native. There's your penalties. And Dallas, as we mentioned, leading the NFC in penalty yardage, and that was a costly one there.
I can't understand why either one of the two teams have not thrown play-action passes more on 1st and 10 to slow down that rush.
We'll see what they do here. Nope, it's going to go off to Tony. Tony is going nowhere. I'll tell you one thing, though, Hank. He had the ball in the right arm. I've been working with you long enough. I look for those things.
Yeah, that's right. He had it in the left arm away from pressure, but that defense and that's there again. You know, it's very tough to run east and west against the Cowboys because they respond and read so well. If you can slow them down with a play action occasionally on 1st and 10, at least slow down the read and maybe throw on the outside of the linebackers or between the linebackers and the defensive backs, you got a chance. They haven't done it. I can't understand why.
Look at this. Mike Swanson, our statistician, indicating Philadelphia now has averaged 1.9 on first downs. That last effort didn't help them much. Virtually no gain, maybe a half yard. Second down coming up. There's that play action. They give it off instead, though, to Tony, and Tony, running tough, brings it out to the 40. Little shoving and pushing inside. They're going to be 3, maybe 4 yards short of the first down. Tony played here in the Texas Stadium when he played for Texas A&M against SMU. Getting up kind of slowly.
That time, Nick Hayden really he's got to be very frustrated. Look at him hobbling off the field. Watch Hayden, a left guard, number 62. See, he's trying to turn number 54, Randy White, and Randy is so quick and controls the top of his body with it, uses his hands so well that he's very, very hard to get to.
Hayden, of course, the guy they picked up on waivers from the Raiders. You're going to look Tony over as Michael Haddix has replaced him at fullback. 3rd down 4. Here they come with Albritton on the blitz. A pass to Ron Johnson, who's playing in place of the injured Quick, and that's a first down. Johnson with his 9th catch of the year, an 11-yard pickup. He's a former standout in the Canadian Football League. Got 140 passes up there.
Here you see him drive the defensive back backwards. Ron Fellows comes back for the ball, and the ball is thrown that time right at the numbers, so he has a chance to get some help from the body along with the hands, and he makes the catch for the first down. Good pass protection on the play.
Johnson went on the injured reserve list. He suffered a concussion in a game against San Diego. Has been reactivated a couple of weeks ago.
This This would be a good time here for a play action. Let's see if they do that. No, they're going to run right again.
Here they go. Myers, big collision, stays on his feet, but he's still not going anywhere. Half of the Cowboy team on top of him. No gain on the play. Loss of 1. Let's go to New York now for an update. Here's Brent Musburger.
Well, Gary, I know that Cowboy fans are keeping a close eye on what happens to the 49ers. The Patriots have gone ahead on this touchdown burst. They convert the extra point. Remember earlier, the Niners missed one, 17-16. Let's go back to Gary and Hank.
Well, I tell you, that one, of course, being followed very closely in Cowboy land. Could go down to that last week where the Cowboys have to beat the Bears here. That'd be tough, wouldn't it?
They got a good...
Second down 10, and that's intended to Spagnuolo. That's the first time they've looked at their tight end in this game.
Well, he was a hot receiver that time because of the blitz, and the penetration was so severe that he didn't really have a chance to get rid of the ball like he wanted to. Lockhart made good penetration. Anytime the middle linebacker blitzes like he did, you go to the tight end automatically, but he threw the ball poorly again, and now it's another long yardage situation.
3rd and 11, Hank.
Yep.
3rd down 11 at the 50-yard line. It's interesting to me, you come into this game, the Cowboys in particular, they were going to throw Cosby, do him a lot, get him in the game. They haven't done that. The Eagles haven't gotten their tight end involved either.
Well, they didn't expect to get the tight end in the game. The Eagles didn't, but the Cowboys did because of the man-for-man coverage with the linebacker. They're moving the pocket. Look at the blitz again.
Yep, that was Penn on the blitz, and that ball is almost picked off. That's Holloway, who got the personal foul earlier, who made the fine defensive effort. So it's a 4th down.
And talking about the tight end, that time they tried to get the ball to Spagnuolo. They move the pocket, go all the way to the right side, but look at the good position, the very good position by Holloway, number 23. And he almost makes the interception.
Holloway signed at Northwestern. Dennis Green was the coach there. Then he had some academic difficulties, transferred to Butler County Junior College, then played at Kansas, was a wide receiver in college, now playing a defensive back spot. Telchik to punt.
Well, Telchik's a great looking athlete, isn't he? You see him in practice, all the things he does, the way he throws the ball and everything. He's a terrific athlete.
Boy, he got that one high. Hines fumbled it, but he got on it at the 18-yard line. I remember Fred Akers telling me that he'd never had a punter that could place the ball like Telchik. That was a 32-yarder. At the 18, Dallas will have it.
What's the world-famous Metropolitan Life representative up to now, Charlie Brown?
He wants to make sure people know that Metropolitan offers auto insurance, homeowners insurance, health insurance, and retirement planning, as well as life insurance.
What's he got in mind?
Good grief.
Spectacular.
Get Met. It pays.
Welcome to the Silver Bullet, home of a cold Coors Light.
Timbo, yo, where's Nadine tonight?
They're probably sitting by the phone waiting for yours truly. Give me a Coors Light, will you, sweet thing?
You guys have a little love spat?
Nah, man's got to have some space. Gotta show these women who's boss. Gotta zig when they zag. Hey, I know it's brutal, but a man's got it too. But Nadine.
Yo. Oh, she looks miserable.
Yeah.
No slowing down with the Silver Bullet tonight.
Nothing escapes the eye of Maxim. The world's first SLR with built-in autofocus, Minolta Maxim focuses by itself. Sharp, fast. Only the human eye focuses faster. With Minolta Maxim, you even get unexpected shots that would have gotten away. The incredible Maxim system.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
Last year they met, and it was a bare 44-0 blowout. But now the Cowboys have a shot at revenge. Chicago collides with Dallas next Sunday on CBS Sports.
The 15th week of the NFL season, and at Texas Stadium, we still have the playoff hopes on the line for the Dallas Cowboys, who lead at 7-6. 7 minutes, 1 second to go in the third quarter. I'm Gary Bender along with Hank Stram, and that updates you on the scoring. McFadden with 2 field goals, and Herschel Walker with the longest run from scrimmage in the NFL this year, an 84-yard touchdown scamper. Here he goes again. He may have another one. This time they catch up with him. Boy, he bursts through there, doesn't he? To the 38-39-yard line. Andre Waters caught up with him. And Herschel Walker was looking for another long 80-yard run.
You talk about a clean hole. Look at the trap block. What it was is a negative play. Clark went with a pulling guard, and he ran right behind a pulling guard, didn't block anybody, and Clark was still trying to figure out what happened on the play. Watch the right guard pull on the play. Look at, and Clark went with him for that reason. There was a big hole there, and Walker went right through there in good shape, and Terry Hogan Waters made the tackle.
Walker now with 114 yards rushing. His high for the year is 120. This time, Dorsett trying to get through the middle, and he gets a yard, maybe two, to the 40-yard line. So 4 carries, 114 yards for Herschel Walker, who had 120 yards against the Cardinals earlier this year. Dorsett, on the other hand, has been shut down. But you can't hold both these guys down very long.
No, you're going to stop them for a while, but all of a sudden one of them explodes, and you got a big play, and that's what this team is all about. It's a big play personality. Talking about the Cowboys.
Dorsett, 11 carries for 46 yards. From the 40 now. Oops, movement. Ken Clark, number 71, coming through the middle. Bob Frederick wants to be absolutely sure what's happened.
False start on the offense, left guard. It'll be second down after the 5-yard penalty.
Well, that'd be Teitzner, number 63, who is guilty of moving. This offensive line, Hank, has been much maligned this year. Basically, they've had their problems at offensive tackle. Derek has given them some strength on their right-hand side due to the injury to Jim Cooper. They like Crawford Kerr. He might be their future Pro Bowler at that spot.
They like him very much, and they like Mark Tuinei, too, on the left tackle position.
Former defensive lineman now playing there. Here's Pelluer trying to set up the screen, and Dorsett dropped it.
They had that set up pretty well, too. They got a block downfield. Had he made the catch, he'd have been able to cover some real estate on that one.
Dorsett is not the back coming out of the backfield to catch the ball that Walker is. But he is still very capable in that area. He had 24 catches prior to today. You think about Herschel, over 600 yards rushing, over 600 yards receiving coming into the day. What a combination he gives them. Indianapolis is on the scoreboard. Ron Meyer's got them playing much better. From the 35 now, third down, 14 yards to go.
They're in the 36 defense now with the 3 linemen. Now see what kind of a push they get on the center and the right guard and left guard on this play. Here they come with the total blitz.
Oh, Giles unloaded on Pelluer, and Tony Hill can't hang on. But that was Dwayne Giles, number 53, that, I mean, he took Pelluer apart on this, and I'm surprised Steve got up as quickly as he did. He's hurting a little bit.
Yeah, they were all coming that time, and that was the right play. He tried to get up on top, but the defensive back, Roynell Young, played it beautifully, and of course he's very difficult to beat on that kind of a pattern.
So Giles hurried that one up. Fourth down. Saxon is struggling. He's averaging only 32 yards.
You know, if you're going to beat Roynell Young, you got to make some kind of a double move. You're just not going to run by him like you tried to do in the last play.
Whoa, rush, and it's blocked. The kick is blocked by Jody Schultz. It's loose. There is a penalty flag. The Cowboys are on top of the ball at the 11-yard line, but Jody Schultz, number 95, third-year man from East Carolina, came up the middle almost untouched.
Offensive holding on the tackle, and the penalty will be refused.
First down for the Eagles.
Hold it up.
Jody Schultz, number 95, from the end zone, right in the to the left part of your left middle. He gets right through the blockers and makes the penetration, takes the right angle, and blocks the kick. Jody Schultz, number 95, there he gets. He gets right through both blockers and gets right out in front beautifully and blocks the kick. A lot of times he takes the wrong angle and the guy's still able to kick the ball underneath the hands. That time he got the hands at the perfect spot.
That is the first block of Saxon this year. Schultz up the middle to do that. Second-round draft pick in 83. He's come back from some major knee surgery. First down at the 11.
See if they're going to run left. Here they come.
Tony, who's back in there, bad ankle and all. Randy White is there. Boy, Randy White is something. Fellows came up, but it was Randy White so strong that just spun Tony around on this play.
Randy White, they're coming outside. They're leaning this way, and look at White. They missed a block on him again. He takes a perfect angle, gets the hook out on the right arm, and throws him down to the turf. What a great play again. A great play again by number 54, consistently Randy White.
Loss on the play. It'll bring up second down, 12. 7-6. Dallas.
Now looks like they're going to run right.
Here they go to Tony again. Tony to the 10. Tony to almost the 8-yard line. Lockhart over to make the stop. It's going to bring up a third down and still 7 yards to go.
You know, they went into the game with the anticipation of being able to run right at the Cowboy defense. They haven't done that efficiently at all. Now they're moving a little bit to the outside and doing a better job.
Lockhart has been hurt. A guy known as the hitting machine. I talked to Eugene about that. He said when I came in as a rookie, they were looking for some hitters. He said I was very excited about that. I went out, got the label as a hitting machine, and 3 years later, he's a starting middle linebacker.
Would you like a gift wrap?
Sure, if it's not too much trouble.
Would you like the red ribbon or the green?
The red.
Sir, is there some small errand you might run while we finish this up? We're running just a teensy bit behind.
What time should I come back?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
Well, we're running just a teensy bit behind.
At least one thing will always go right this holiday season. Andre Champagne.
Christmas is this Thursday.
Well, we're running just a teensy bit behind.
Andre Champagne. What would the holidays be without it?